had been here for more than 20 days. I had worked harder than I had ever worked in my life, carrying bricks and mixing cement and hauling steel beams under the hot sun. My hands were calloused, my back ached, and my shoulders were raw from the weight of the loads I had carried. But I had been proud of the work. I had been earning my way, proving that I could survive without Renata, without her money, without her control. And then she had taken it from me. The same way she had taken 3 years of my life. The same way she had taken my dignity, my reputation, my faith in the idea that family meant something. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep, but the cold seeped through my thin jacket, and my mind refused to quiet. I thought about Rosetta. Her face kind and steady, the way she had looked at me when I told her my story. She hadn't laughed. She hadn't doubted. She had just listened, and when I finished she had said, "I believe you," 3 words. That was all it took. 3 words that my own sister had never said. Rosetta had been in prison for a crime she didn't commit, financial fraud, a setup by a business partner who had stolen everything and left her to take the blame. She had been there for 2 years, and in that time, she had become something like a sister to me. She shared her books with me, her food, her stories. She told me about her daughter, a little girl named Mira who was living with Rosetta's mother, waiting for her to come home. 5 more months, she would say, her eyes bright with hope. 5 more months, and I'll hold her again. I had promised her that when she got out, I would be there. I would help her find a job, a place to live, a way to start over. And she had promised me the same. Now, with my sister's words still ringing in my ears, I held onto that promise like a lifeline. Chapter 15. The days that followed were hard. I found work where I could, washing dishes at a small restaurant, sweeping floors at a market, carrying boxes at a warehouse. None of the jobs paid well, and none of them lasted long. My prison record followed me like a shadow, and every time an employer found out, I was let go. But I didn't give up. I couldn't. Rosetta was counting on me. I slept in shelters when I could, on park benches when I couldn't. I ate cheap noodles and drank water from public fountains. I saved every penny I could, hiding it in a small pouch I kept tied to my belt. And every day, I thought about the recording on my phone. The one where Leonhardt admitted to framing me. The one I had sent to Renata. She had tried to call me dozens of times in the first few days. I hadn't answered. Then the calls stopped, and the messages became less frequent, and eventually, the silence was complete. I told myself I didn't care. I told myself that I was done with her, done with Leonhardt, done with that house and everything it represented. But late at night, when the city was quiet and I was alone with my thoughts, I wondered if she had listened to the recording. I wondered if she believed me now. I wondered if she felt even a fraction of the pain she had caused me. It didn't matter. None of it mattered. All that mattered was the day Rosetta would walk out of those prison gates, and I would be there to meet her. Chapter 16. The day finally came. I woke up before dawn, my stomach tight with nerves, my hands trembling as I washed my face in a public restroom. I had saved enough for a cheap motel room the night before.